Have you ever met someone whose story sounds almost impossible to believe? Someone who faced the kind of pain that could break anyone. And yet, instead of breaking, they rebuilt themselves stronger than before. Today, I want to tell you about a doctor whose life changed forever in a single moment, and how that moment transformed not just his body, but his purpose. Because sometimes losing something doesn't make you less, it reveals who you really are, Doctor. Aaron Matthews, a trauma surgeon known for his steady hands and calm under pressure, had spent years saving lives in the operating room. He was the kind of doctor people trusted instantly, always composed, always in control. But one rainy evening, driving home from a 16-hour shift, his car skidded on a slick road and crashed. The impact crushed both of his legs. When he woke up in the hospital, the same kind of ward he once worked in, he wasn't the one holding the scalpel. He was the one on the table. He looked down and realized the unthinkable. Both of his legs were gone. At first, he couldn't even process it. His mind raced between disbelief and panic. The man who had once walked confidently into operating rooms couldn't even move his body now. "Why me?" he whispered. "How am I supposed to live like this, let alone be a doctor?" The weeks that followed were silent, the kind of silence that hurts, the kind where the machines beep, but the world around you feels frozen. He stared out of his hospital window each morning, watching people walk by. Nurses came and went, offering words of comfort that barely landed. Friends visited, trying to be strong for him, but he could see the pity in their eyes. Every sound of footsteps in the hallway reminded him of what he'd lost. He felt trapped, not just in a wheelchair, but in a body that no longer matched his identity. The confident surgeon was gone. What was left was a man who didn't recognize himself anymore. One morning, a physical therapist named Elena entered his room. She looked at him, smiled, and said, "You've saved dozens of people. Now it's time to save yourself." Dr. Matthews didn't respond. She wheeled in a pair of prosthetic legs, sleek, metallic, almost alien-looking. "They're waiting for you," she said, "but they won't walk unless you do." Something about that moment shifted him. For the first time since the accident, he realized that while he'd lost his legs, he hadn't lost his will. The surgeon in him, the problem solver, the fighter, woke up again. He began physical therapy. The pain was excruciating. Every step felt like walking through fire. He fell, over and over, but every time he got back up. And on the day he took his first unaided step, tears streamed down his face. Not because it hurt, but because it proved something profound. He wasn't broken, he was rebuilding. After months of rehabilitation, Dr. Matthews made a decision no one expected. He wanted to return to surgery. The hospital board hesitated. "Are you sure?" they asked. "It's a physically demanding job." He smiled. "I know, but I've faced harder recoveries." At first, they assigned him to smaller cases. Standing for long hours with prosthetics was a challenge. His balance, stamina, and technique all had to adapt. But slowly he mastered it. He learned to steady himself not just with his legs, but with his mind. Soon he was back performing complex surgeries. His colleagues watched in awe as he moved with precision, resilience, and grace. He wasn't the same surgeon he was before. He was better, because now he carried empathy that no textbook could teach. One day, a young soldier came to him, his legs severely damaged in combat. As they discussed the operation, the soldier looked nervous. Dr. Matthews pulled up his pant leg, revealing the prosthetics beneath. The soldier's eyes widened. "I've been where you are," the doctor said quietly. "And I'm still standing." In that moment, something incredible happened. Trust replaced fear. That soldier wasn't just being operated on by a doctor. He was being guided by someone who understood. Word spread quickly. Patients who had lost limbs started requesting Dr. Matthews. They said, "He gets it." He wasn't just healing bodies anymore. He was healing spirits. News outlets began covering his story. The double amputee surgeon changing lives, the headlines read. Interviews poured in. People wanted to know how he did it, how he returned to one of the most demanding professions on earth after such a loss. Dr. Matthews always said the same thing. "I didn't lose my legs. I gained perspective." He began speaking at medical schools, disability conferences, and motivation events. He talked about the power of adaptation, how every limitation can be a doorway to something greater. By now, Dr. Matthews had become a symbol of hope. But he didn't see himself as a hero. He saw himself as a reminder that pain doesn't end you. It evolves you. When people asked what strength meant to him now, he would say, "Our true strength isn't about what your body can do. It's about what your spirit refuses to give up on." Years later, Dr. Matthews opened a foundation that provides prosthetic limbs to underprivileged amputees. He wanted others to walk again, literally and emotionally. His clinic walls are lined with photos, smiling faces of those who learned to live again, just like he did. Every time he looks at them, he feels gratitude, not for what he lost, but for what he gained through loss.